Are back, and I'm calling this part 5 because I can't keep calling it 4A, 4B, 4C, 4D. That's ridiculous. So I'm not going to. But where we left off in the last video, we were making the nav bar. Okay. So again, we're just finding all the properties of the nav bar. Let's go back. Let's go back to the site. Let's deselect. Click on the home button. And we're back on the home button. Homepage, and we are back to looking at the different properties of the nav bar. Okay, so I'm going to click on this properties of the nav bar, 15 pixels. Contrast is okay. We've got the color. Let's click on that. It's a span, font size 3. We have the color. What other properties do we need? Margin padding, not that, not that. Okay, so I'm going to click on the element outside of it. And I'm going to scroll quickly through the properties of this. And this element, when you hover over it, it shows you the padding or the space each nav item has around it. And again, if you remember from the previous lessons, the padding, the margin, the border, and the actual element itself, their sizes and their dimensions are all right here. So I'm seeing this, and again, when I hover over the parent element that contains all the nav links, I see that it has a width of about 380 pixels on desktop view. So we want to make this fit in here as closely as possible by using the inspector and our visual design skills. Okay, so 11 pixels, 16 pixels. I think that the reason why I had to make a second video is because I started to make a component in Figma, but I don't want to get into that yet because this is supposed to be a quick mock-up and kind of teaching you the relationship between web elements via the Google Inspector and Figma, how your designs translate over. So a component, it's more of an advanced topic. It is very useful. It's similar to creating color styles and text styles. It's all for you to be able to have a structure and a design system that you can easily communicate to the developer. That's what all of these things are for: components, frames. That's what Figma is. It's a UX UI tool to be able to communicate your designs. So anyway, going on, we're going to continue making these text styles for the links. So I think this is pretty close. What I do want to do is I'm going to make a box right now. Since we're not going to use components, this is the way that we're going to kind of do this. And by this, I mean 16 pixels. I'm going to make a little rectangle. And then I'm going to make another one that is 11 pixels height. 11 pixels in height. Okay. So I'm just going to make it 11 and 11 and 16 and 16. Okay, 16 and 16. And then I'm just going to lock it. Unlock it and 16, enter, and then I'm going to lock it. Now it's not going to change, and now I'm going to lock it. It's not going to change. Okay, so again, if we go here and we hover over this, we see that it has 16 pixels on the left and right and 11 on the top and bottom. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I am going to put this right here. Sorry, this one here and this one on the side. Okay. And I'm going to put it on the side of the bounding box, not the actual text itself. Okay. So 16 pixels there and 16 pixels there. And if we click on this with the line height of 150, which remember, the line height of the text is 1.5, which is an equivalent of 150%. I'm going to put it right here at the top of the bounding box, not again on the text. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Command D. I'm going to put this over here. And then I'm going to Command D. And I'm going to put this down here. And now if we look, it has it on all 4 sides, right? Okay, do that. This is in the middle, this is in the center, that's fine. All of this is aligned horizontally and vertically. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a, oh wow, there's two of those. Okay, center, center, okay. Is it still on the bounding box? Yes. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to frame this, frame, and then I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to do the same thing over here. Okay, I'm actually going to duplicate this, Command D, Command D, Command D. Okay, and then here, I'm actually going to type discover and then adjust. And again, to not get in components, but when you do create components, you're able to set constraints and all these. I mean, you can set constraints now, but since again, this is a mock-up and not a prototype, I'm just trying to do it quickly and demonstrate quickly, you know, the relationships again between designs in Figma, web elements using the inspector in Google. Okay, so I'm just going to say learn, and then, oh, sorry, pricing, and learn. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I am going to move this over here to the bounding box, move this over here to the bounding box. Is that it? Yes, it is. Okay, and then I'm going to move this to the binding box, this to the binding box. It really is so much faster, y'all. I'm really debating on whether I should just go ahead and show you components, but I don't think I should. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, actually, I'm going to select everything, I'm going to take it out of that frame, delete it. Same thing. Take it out of that frame, delete it, and take it out of this frame and delete this one. Now I'm going to reframe them, okay? And you can do that on the keyboard by pressing Option Command G. Okay? Option Command G. So that's what I'm going to do. Option Command G. Circle everything, Option Command G. Circle everything, Option Command G. Okay? And now I'm going to click on these and delete them. Delete, 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 delete. Okay, delete, 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 and yeah, delete. Okay, so now I'm going to click, hold it down, select all, come over here, and I'm going to click on this last one, and I'm going to click distribute vertical spacing. I'm going to click distribute horizontal spacing, and it's not doing what I want, so I'm just going to click this. And then right here, you can see that it's telling you how much space is in between each item, and I'm going to press 0. Enter. And now I have a navbar menu of links that is nearly identical to this box that we first created, because that's what we saw is encasing all of these links. 380.79 by 44. And if we look and I click on one of these, it's 45. So that's close enough. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to name this nav link. Okay, and I'm going to name this nav link, same thing, and this, and this. And there is a shortcut for renaming frames. Where did I find it? How to rename frames in Figma. Multiple frames in Figma. Okay. Select the layers you want to update. Use the keyboard shortcut to open the rename layer modal. On a Mac, it's Command -R. Command -R. Let's try that. Select Command -R. Oh, that did work, but I don't like how that. Okay, Command -R. Oh, okay. Oh no, what happened? Okay. So let's try that again. This is the first time. I looked up the shortcut a while ago, but this is the first time that I've actually used it. So I'm going to try to do this fast. Command -R. Command -R. Okay. Why? Why does it keep doing this? I don't want it to take me to my drafts. I'm gonna give it one more try, y'all. Oh, that's why. Well, you know what? I'm not gonna try it right now since I'm recording. I think what's happening is I'm getting the window, but it's also the browser's thinking I'm trying to refresh it, and I don't want to. So I'm not gonna fiddle with that right now. I will figure it out later and do that in another video. But we have all our nav links. So what I want to do actually is select this text, and I want to create this as a text style. So I'm going to say add, and then I'm going to say nav link. Nav link text the way it should appear in the main navigation element of the page. Create style, boom. So now I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to click on nav link. And click on this, and click on nav link, and click on this, and click on nav link. And again, just reinforcing, reiterating. It is great to create consistent styles because this is how you begin to build a design system. Linktree is using Gatsby.js, and what else are they using? Are they using React to build this? We can check. If I click on this, yes, they are using React. It can tell me that they're using React. So they're using React. What else can I learn about what they're using? Let's view the page source. Let's see. I'm going to do Command F, and I'm going to type in SAS. And I don't get anything. And then I'm going to type in Bootstrap. And I don't get anything. And I'm not going to get anything because this is made in Gatsby. Anyway, I think I could figure out, but I'm not going to get sidetracked on, what else they're using. OneTrust is an SDK. Oh, they're using it. Okay. All right. Let's move on. Sorry. Linktree, nav link, marketplace. Okay, so we have our nav links. We set the styling for those. I'm gonna copy this, and I am actually going to frame all of them. Again, you can do Option Command G, or you can right-click and find this menu. Right-click menu, and I'm going to call this nav menu with links. So now I'm going to take this and I'm going to drag it into here. And one thing that we can do is we can go back, okay? We can go back here and we can figure out how much space is actually here in between these things. So if it's 166 pixels and then this is the padding, what we need to do is, I'm going to drag this back out for a second. I'm going to frame this, frame the selection, and I'm going to call it brand link. And the frame, I'm actually going to make the frame, and you can tell you have the frame selected because of that, okay? And I just want the frame selected, let's see, 166. Yeah, and it is, okay? So now what I can do is I can come over here and drag this right next to that, and it'll snap right there. So there, and here, and here, and it is overlapping as perfectly and as close as it can get. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take these and I'm going to align them to the center. So now they are aligned. And this is an accurate representation of this spacing. Okay. So then we're going to come over here. We're going to make these buttons. All right. And actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to frame this also. Remember, you can right click and get the menu to frame, or you can option command G. And now it is one whole frame. And I'm going to call this nav bar left. Okay, so we have that. So the next thing I'm going to do is, next thing we are going to be doing, if you're following along with me, is we're going to make this button. Okay, so this button is this color right here. And remember, we can click on that little box and then we can change it to the hex code. Command A, Command C. And then I'm going to make a color bubble and I'm going to paste that color in. And then I'm going to take this little bubble and I'm going to put it over here because this is kind of like a new color, right? Actually, duplicate. I'm going to do that. I'm going to break this. I'm going to put that color in there. And then I'm going to take this and I'm going to make it a style. Oh, not that. Okay. Style, lightest gray. Nav, CTA, button, BG color. Okay, so we have that. So now that we have that, we can go back here and we're going to say, how big is this? This is 102 pixels wide by 62 pixels, 102 by 62. So I'm going to press R on my keyboard to create the rectangle. And I'm just going to create the rectangle and then I'm going to say 102 by 62. Enter. And then I'm going to come over here on the right to my color picker and select that color style. So now we have the outline of our button. And again, if we have our inspector tool selected, we can click on here. Padding has 18 pixels, 26 pixels, and 20 pixels. So let's go down here. Border radius is 8 pixels. So let's come over here to Figma and add 8 pixels of border radius right here on the right-hand sidebar. Okay, so just really quick, this on the left hand, don't come over here as often. Usually myself, I come over here at the end of when I've created a design like this, and then I go through my layers and my frames and I rename them appropriately to match whatever style system I'm using, like the semantics and the what is it called? the way that a style system such as Bootstrap or Tailwind or anything else, the language kind of that it uses, it's not semantics. Gosh darn it, why can I not think of it? Anyway, there's a specific verbiage, syntax. Gosh darn it, how can I be a developer and have forgotten the word syntax? Anyways, the syntax of CSS and other styling libraries, I guess you could call it, is specific to the library itself. So I don't know if this is using, I wasn't able to identify just yet what style system this is using. But anyway, what was I? Okay, we were creating the button and we have the border radius. What else do we need? Okay, padding. The padding 2620. Okay, let's see. Top, right, bottom, and left. Okay, so we need to create, well, we need to, but I'm going to. 26 by 26, and then padding top 18, right and left, bottom 18 and 20. Okay, so 18 and 18, and then 20. 20. Okay, so on the bottom of this button, there's 20 pixels. On the top, and then on the right, left and right, it has this many, okay? So we're going to select those, center, we're going to select these, and we're going to center them. Yeah. So that's our button. Log in, let's look at the text. The text is 16 pixels, 418 font weight, and we already have that. So can we use button text for this? I think we can. Okay, so I'm going to say T, and I'm going to say log in. And then I'm going to say over here in my styles, I'm going to break that, and then I don't want it to be nav link, I want it to be button text. And then the color is going to be the blackish color that we have, okay? So it has the properties, remember, of the font text. Font family is Poppins. This is the format for button text. If I click on that and I actually inspect the styles further, I can see that it is 16 pixels, medium, the 0.01 EM, and the 1.5 line height, which is a style that we made. So see how easy and convenient it is to use styles once you create them. A lot of times people are like, oh, just let me just start creating it exactly how it is. That's fine, but it would improve your workflow, and that's what it's meant for. That's what Figma intended, these functions, and they wrote these functions in order to provide you with these options to help you design faster and in a more understandable way for developers. Okay, so we have that button, and then let's look at this button. The text is the same size. The only thing we're going to change is the border radius and the color. Okay, so let's see. It is this a new color? Might be. I think it is. Yeah, it is. Because our color that we currently have in there is not. Is that the same? Oh, it is. Never mind. It's the same color. Okay. I thought they were trying to get extra special with this button. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just copy this, and then we're going to reformat it. Okay. So this says sign up free, sign up free. And how wide is this button? This button is 152 pixels. So this and this, bring that down here, and I'm going to say 152, enter. And then I'm going to put this in the middle. And then I'm going to put this over here. And then I'm going to put this stuff together. And it says sign up free. And then this border radius is also 10,000 pixels. So this is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. Enter. Okay. And then instead of that, we are going to make it white. And instead of that color, we're going to make it this one. And we have our button. Yay! Okay, so now let's put it all together. Okay. And there's actually 8 pixels of spacing between these two. So what we need to do is that is what we did, isn't it? Gosh darn it. Yeah, it is. I don't know why I moved these out here. But yeah. So basically we don't need these anymore. These little gray boxes. Let's see. And this already, yeah. Since I copied it over, well, not really. Let's fix that. And the reason, in case you're wondering why it's not exactly, is because again, it's the font that we're using. It's not the same exact font, so it's the spacing is going to be slightly different. Okay, there's that. And there's this. And there's this. Okay, so instead of making it that size, I'm going to make it this size. Okay, 150 by 62. There we go. Alrighty. So now we have our buttons. And instead of 26, I'm just going to make this 8 pixels just to help us out a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to take this and I'll put this right here. And then I'm going to take this and this and this and this. And I'm going to drag this over here like that. And then I'm going to group this, Command G, and I'm going to call it sign up nav CTA. And this one, I'm going to call it, I'm going to group it, group, there's a group, Command G or the right click menu, and I'm going to say login nav CTA. Okay. And then I'm going to frame this. Let's see. Actually, let's just make sure we have these aligned. Okay. They are perfectly aligned. 62, 62, perfectly aligned. Now we are going to right click, group selection, and I'm going to call this, actually Command V, I am going to frame the selection. So remember, it's Option Command G. It creates a frame, and I'm going to call this navbar right. Enter. I'm going to delete that. And there we go. So we're going to put this in here. And we have this over here. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back here and I'm going to see how much space is in between this right here. This has padding left of 32 pixels, and this has padding left of 12, okay? So another little box, we're gonna make it 12 pixels, 12, we're gonna align it to this, and then we're gonna take this, navbar right, I'm gonna hold the shift key and I'm gonna start dragging it over. And then I'm gonna click it again and align it to the very middle of everything. And then over here, I'm gonna grab my little rectangle and I'm gonna come over here and I'm going to make this 32 pixels. Okay. And then I'm going to put this right there. And I'm going to expand this just a tiny bit right there. Okay. So again, this is as close as it gets representation. I'm going to select both of these and I'm going to center them. They're already centered because they're not moving. And then last but not least, we're going to select all of this and we're going to do Option Command G on the keyboard to frame it. And this, my friends, is the navbar. So we're going to come and we're going to drag it down in here and it's in the frame because we see the blue lines surrounding the frame. I'm going to let it go. I'm going to deselect it. I'm going to click on it one more time. And now that it is inside this desktop frame, I'm going to click these little horizontal centers. And now it is in the exact middle of this. And one more thing. I'm going to click on this. And it tells me that it has a padding of 48 pixels on the top, 48 pixels on the side. We're not going to worry about the side pixels right now. But I am going to make this 48 pixels from the top. Okay, 48 pixels. Click. It will snap. It is already in the center. And let's see. Okay. Do one more last thing before I wrap this session up. Oh, okay. Okay, Linktree. I'm on your website for too long, huh? Let's type that in again. Let's revisit this. Command Shift R. That text wasn't there before. Sure wasn't. Network. Let's disable the cache. And then let us refresh. Because I don't want all of this in here. Where did it go? Why did you change? All right, guys. So I'm not going to focus on it, but what I remember is that, yeah, this is not exactly aligned to the end of this, but we're going to adjust the width of this a little bit, right? So 1440, and I'm gonna drag this frame out right here really quick. And instead of making it 1300 pixels, I am going to make it 1200 pixels. Okay. First, I'm going to drag this out, and then I'm going to drag this, and this, and this. Okay. And then I'm going to take this, and I'm going to make it 1200 pixels. I'm going to actually make this container's fill that green color. So that's only the container, and then I am going to click on this and drag it in here. It's in the middle. I'm going to put that right there. And then I'm going to take this, make it a little smaller, put it in here. I'm going to drag it to the middle and put it right there. Put it over here. Now I'm going to take this and put it back in the section. I'm going to align it to the center and align it to the center. And then I'm going to put this in here, and I'm going to align it to the center and align it to the center. Actually to the bottom. Okay. So now, if we take a look in the play mode, let's see what we get. Okay, remember, we're going to click on options and fit to screen. Sorry, fit to width. All right. So it looks like there's way too much space right there, right? Way too much space. So in the next video, we will discover what went wrong and what else we need to do. So I'll be back.